Chosen one, please pause. Slow your breath. Still your thoughts. This moment is delicate, and it matters more than you realize. You didn't search for this message. You didn't arrive here by chance. This encounter was arranged quietly, deliberately, as if heaven itself leaned close and guided your attention here, because something sacred is unfolding right now. Chosen one, you know what it is to carry weight in silence. You've survived seasons where no one saw how tired you were, how confused your spirit felt, how heavy your heart became behind your strength. You've fought unseen battles, questioned your purpose, and wondered why sensitivity was placed so deeply inside you. That sensitivity was never a weakness, it was preparation. And before we go deeper, pause for a moment, hit subscribe, like, and comment Amen if your spirit is already responding. Because this message is about to speak directly to you, not to the masses, but to your calling. Right now, somewhere not far from destiny's reach, an elderly woman is carrying a burden she should never have to carry alone. Her body is tired. Her strength has been stretched thin by time, loss, and quiet endurance. Her voice may be soft, almost invisible in a loud world, but her need reached God. Heaven heard what words could no longer carry, and instead of sending noise, instead of sending spectacle, God is moving through you. This isn't about doing something big or dramatic. It's about noticing. It's about compassion that still responds when convenience says look away. It's about timing, heavenly timing, where a small act becomes a turning point. Light often moves quietly through shadow, and help often arrives disguised as ordinary obedience. Have you noticed the gentle urgency in your heart? Not panic, not fear, but a calm insistence that says, pay attention. That is not coincidence. That is calling. God does not rush, but when a window opens, He invites those He trusts to move. You don't need every detail. You don't need a perfect plan. You only need willingness. Your life, every hardship, every lesson, every moment of confusion has trained you to respond with empathy instead of indifference. This is recognition. This is revelation. This is divine validation of who you are becoming. So stay with me, chosen one, because what you're about to hear will reveal how to help, why this moment cannot wait, and why heaven trusted you with this awareness. A hidden truth is about to come into the light, and your response right now may be the answer to a prayer whispered long ago. Chosen one, take a moment to feel this truth. Not all cries reach human ears, but nothing escapes the attention of God. Many elderly people carry their struggles quietly, hiding pain behind pride, dignity, or simple exhaustion. They don't ask for help, not because they don't need it, but because they've learned to survive in silence. And yet silence does not mean absence. Silence does not mean the struggle is invisible in the spiritual realm. God hears what the world overlooks. He sees what others pass by. He notices what most people assume is small, unimportant, or normal. This woman, like so many, may appear calm, collected, even content. She may speak little, move slowly, or smile through discomfort. But behind that quiet exterior is a soul weighed down by unseen burdens, a life that has endured seasons of loss, loneliness, and challenge. Heaven hears every sigh, every pause, every unspoken plea that falls from a spirit who has carried far more than she should have to. And chosen one, that's why this message has reached you. Because God does not act alone. He works through those He has prepared to respond, those whose hearts are tuned to notice even what is silent. Ask yourself this, chosen one, have you ever walked past someone in need simply because they didn't speak? Have you overlooked a cry because it wasn't loud enough to demand attention? God's way is different. He looks for responders, willing vessels, those who can move without needing fanfare, those who can act out of empathy instead of obligation. That is why you are here. That is why your awareness has been stirred. Heaven often works quietly but with precise intent. What seems like coincidence, your attention catching this message, your heart feeling a gentle pull, is not random. It is divine orchestration. You were positioned to be part of an answer to a prayer she may have whispered only in her heart. And even if no one else notices her pain, your obedience can carry relief that multiplies far beyond what you see. This is a call to awareness, compassion, to action that doesn't need validation, explanation, or recognition. A single message, a simple visit, a word of encouragement, or a timely gesture can shift her entire experience. Silence is not emptiness when God is listening, and your readiness to notice is how his movement takes shape. Chosen one, the quiet cry has been heard. The moment for you to act is here. Heaven has not overlooked her pain. It has positioned you to become part of the answer. Are you ready to respond? Can you feel the stirrings in your spirit? The divine nudge saying, this is your moment to be the vessel of hope? Stay present, stay attentive, and stay willing. Because when God moves through a willing heart, miracles often begin in the places no one else is watching. Your awareness today can transform silent struggle into restored hope. Chosen one, pause and lean into this truth. That stirring in your spirit, the gentle insistence that something must be done, that someone needs your attention, is not panic and it is not guilt. It is awareness. It is clarity. It is the quiet voice of heaven awakening your senses to a moment that matters more than any distraction, more than any delay, more than any explanation could capture. This is not pressure. This is divine timing. God does not rush people. He does not force, he does not panic, and he does not coerce. But he does alert. He does awaken. He does position hearts to respond when someone's need is immediate. That tug in your chest, the almost electric pull in your consciousness, is heaven's way of telling you, now, not later, now. Timing matters more than reasoning, more than knowing all the details, more than having perfect clarity. When someone vulnerable is waiting, when the window for relief exists for only a moment, God sharpens your awareness to see it and act. Ask yourself this, chosen one, have you felt this before? That subtle, unexplainable urgency that doesn't allow you to ignore it, the sense that hesitation is not an option, that waiting could cost more than it feels like? That is the language of divine awareness. Most people mistake it for stress or anxiety. Most people try to ignore it. But you, chosen one, are being positioned to recognize it as a call, a direct invitation to become part of something greater than yourself, to intervene where inaction could allow suffering to continue. Urgency from God never comes as chaos. It comes as clarity. It comes as an internal alert that aligns your focus, amplifies your empathy, and directs your attention precisely where it is needed. It may feel like tension in your chest, like a soft pressure in your spirit, like a whisper that won't be silenced. That is heaven nudging you to readiness. That is the moment where awareness meets action, where divine alignment meets earthly opportunity. Have you noticed how moments of divine urgency often come quietly but persistently? They do not scream, they insist. They do not demand, they illuminate. They sharpen the mind, steady the heart, and focus your energy on what matters. Heaven knows timing is everything. The right response at the right time can change the course of a life, transform despair into hope, and bring relief that lingers for years. Chosen one, do not dismiss the stirring in your spirit. That urgency is not coincidence. It is calibration. It is positioning. It is God calling you into alignment with what must happen now. What happens if you ignore it? What happens if you respond? The choice is yours, but the opportunity is fleeting. Timing is divine, and your awareness is the signal that heaven has prepared you to act. Stay alert, stay compassionate, stay willing, because divine urgency does not wait, and neither should your response. When heaven awakens your heart, it's always because someone's need cannot wait, and your obedience can become the instrument of immediate relief, restoration, and hope. Chosen one, pause for a moment and reflect on your journey. Every step you've taken, every season of waiting, every hardship endured, every lesson learned, they were not random. They were preparation. You did not encounter this message by accident. You are here because heaven positioned you exactly where you need to be, at the exact moment your presence is required. Timing matters and divine orchestration does not fail. Your awareness of this situation, your stirring compassion, your readiness to respond, it all converges now, perfectly aligned. Ask yourself, chosen one, How many times did you feel your experiences were meaningless, your struggles without purpose, or your patience tested without reason? What you may have perceived as delays, obstacles, or hardships were actually deposits. Wisdom, empathy, discernment being placed inside you, quietly, meticulously, and with intent. That internal growth, that hard-earned resilience was being cultivated so that when a moment like this arrived, you would be prepared. Heaven does not assign responsibilities to those who are unready. It positions the right people at the right time, and you are among them. Think about it. Your compassion has deepened over time, not merely through instruction, but through life itself. Your maturity has been tested in ways that refined your judgment and sharpened your sensitivity. Your ability to help, to perceive what is needed, and to respond without needing recognition. This has all been shaped for moments like this. When prayers rise in silence, when someone suffers quietly, it is rarely coincidence that the one capable of bringing relief notices and moves. That is divine alignment. God often answers prayers not by rushing miracles, but by strategically placing the right person in the right place at the right time. Have you ever wondered why certain situations touch you more than others? Why some calls for help feel like they bypass logic and speak directly to your heart? That is the fingerprint of divine positioning. The world may not notice the alignment, and the timing may feel mysterious, but heaven sees the full design. Every step, every act of patience, every moment you chose to grow instead of give up, it has led you here. Chosen one, this is a reminder. You are not here by chance. You are not witnessing this moment because you stumbled upon it randomly. You are positioned. Heaven has prepared you to move when others cannot. You are aligned for this moment, capable of being the answer to a prayer that has gone unheard for far too long. So ask yourself, will you recognize the significance of your positioning? Will you move in alignment with heaven's timing, confident that your presence here is intentional, powerful, and necessary? This is your moment, chosen one. Step into it. Respond. Your life, your experience, and your heart have all led you to this exact point, for a purpose far greater than you can see. Chosen one, lean in and let this truth settle in your heart. Sometimes the smallest gestures carry the greatest weight. For someone elderly, for someone whose body has grown fragile and whose spirit has weathered countless seasons, a single act of kindness can feel like a lifeline. What may seem minor to you, a moment of listening, a smile, a patient presence, can transform her day, her week, even her spirit. The power of small acts is quiet but profound, and heaven notices when they are offered with genuine care. Ask yourself, chosen one, when was the last time you truly paused to listen without distraction, without rushing, without seeking anything in return? To listen with presence is more than hearing words. It is recognizing a soul. It is validating experience. It is telling someone through the depth of your attention, you matter. You are seen. You are not alone. For an elderly woman carrying burdens alone, these moments are monumental. They remind her of her dignity, of her value, of the respect she deserves. Things that cannot be bought, spoken, or forced. They are gifts that flow directly from your compassion. Offering support, even in small ways, can create ripples far beyond the immediate moment. A simple act, carrying groceries, helping her walk, sharing a word of encouragement, or simply holding her hand, speaks louder than words. It says, I notice you. You are worthy. You are not forgotten. Heaven thrives on these small acts because they align with God's heart. Care, empathy, and presence that restore hope and remind the weary that they are not invisible. Have you noticed how these acts often feel inconvenient? That is part of their power. True compassion asks you to step beyond comfort, to move beyond the rhythm of your own life, to let your awareness become action. And yet, even when it seems minor, it carries spiritual magnitude. You are not asked to fix everything. You are not required to solve her entire life. You are simply asked to care, to show up, to move with empathy and intention. That is enough. That is holy. That is how heaven works through you. Small acts honor the essence of her humanity. They restore what life may have worn away: confidence, comfort, respect, and the simple joy of knowing that someone notices and cares. They may not feel dramatic, but in her eyes they are monumental, and in God's eyes they are miracles in motion. Chosen one, reflect on this. What small act could you offer today that would restore dignity, provide comfort, and remind someone they are valued? That act, though small in your perspective, may be enormous in hers. You don't need power, resources, or perfection, only presence, only care, only willingness. That is where transformation begins, and that is where you become the answer heaven has been preparing for. Step gently, move intentionally, and give fully, chosen one. Because sometimes what feels like the smallest gesture to you can become the greatest blessing to someone who has carried silence and struggle far too long. Chosen one, pause and allow this to resonate deeply within your spirit. Heaven watches those who extend care to the vulnerable, especially the elderly. From scripture to divine wisdom, the message is clear. Protect, honor, and uplift those who have walked life's paths before you. The elderly are often overlooked, underestimated, or dismissed by a world rushing toward convenience. Yet God sees every act of kindness offered to those whose strength is fading, whose voices are quiet, whose burdens are invisible to most. And heaven honors that compassion, not because it earns reward, not because it brings recognition, but because it reflects the heart of God Himself. Have you ever noticed how rare genuine care is in a world that measures worth by productivity, strength, or visibility? When you show patience, offer support, or simply honor someone's humanity without expecting anything in return, you are performing an act of spiritual alignment. You are reflecting God's heart. Compassion for the vulnerable is not transactional, it is sacred. It carries a weight in the spiritual realm that cannot be measured by human metrics. Heaven notices, heaven responds, and heaven multiplies the impact in ways you may never see, touching lives and circumstances far beyond the moment. Ask yourself this, chosen one, why does kindness often feel costly yet light? Why does patience sometimes stretch your limits, yet leave your spirit full? That tension is the spiritual paradox of compassion. When you invest in someone who cannot repay you, you are participating in divine work. You are aligning your will with heaven's design, becoming a vessel through which mercy, restoration, and hope flow. Your actions, though seemingly small, ripple outward in ways that matter eternally. Compassion is a spiritual language. It communicates far more than words can convey. To care for someone vulnerable is to say, you are seen, you are valued, your life matters. That language is universal, timeless, and holy. Heaven recognizes it immediately. There is no oversight in the realm of God. Every act of selfless care is recorded. Every moment you step forward to protect, uplift, or comfort someone who cannot repay you resonates with divine significance. Consider this, chosen one. The elderly woman you may encounter, whose needs are quiet but profound, is not just asking for help. She is giving you an opportunity to align with heaven's heart, to reflect God's love, to practice a compassion that echoes beyond her lifespan. When you respond with genuine care, you are participating in something eternal. Your actions become prayers in motion, lifting burdens and restoring dignity. So let me ask you, will you respond with awareness, with intentionality, with a heart open to heaven's guidance? Will you be the answer prepared and positioned for this moment, reflecting God's love through your hands, your words, and your presence? Chosen one, heaven honors compassion for the vulnerable. Every act you offer in love, humility, and patience carries divine weight and becomes part of a story that God is still writing, one that could transform lives, restore hope, and bring glory to His name. Step forward intentionally, chosen one. Move with care, speak with gentleness, act with love. Heaven sees, heaven honors, and your willingness today may shift more than you can imagine. Chosen one, take a moment to let this truth sink deeply into your spirit. Some moments are fleeting, they appear quietly, almost imperceptibly, and then vanish before we even realize their weight. Not every opportunity will return. Not every moment of alignment with heaven's timing comes a second time. There is a sacred precision in the timing of your response, a window designed for action, for care, for relief. Delaying doesn't always signal refusal, but it can mean missed comfort, missed hope, and extended suffering for someone who cannot wait. Heaven moves in perfect rhythm, and your willingness to act now determines whether that rhythm reaches its intended destination. Ask yourself, chosen one, how often have you hesitated because you felt unprepared, or uncertain, or not enough? How many times have you delayed action because the moment seemed too small or insignificant? The truth is, these moments are rarely small. What seems minor to you, reaching out, offering a kind word, extending help, can feel monumental to someone carrying burdens in silence. An elderly woman waiting quietly, a heart longing for acknowledgement, a spirit in need of reassurance. Your response right now can protect this fragile moment, ensuring that comfort arrives when it is most critical. Time and opportunity are not measured by clocks alone. Heaven measures them by alignment. When God positions someone to act, it is intentional. The stirrings in your heart, the tug in your spirit, the soft but urgent insistence that you move, these are not coincidences. They are signals of divine orchestration. To hesitate is to risk letting the window close before relief is delivered. To respond is to honor both heaven's timing and the life in front of you. Consider this, chosen one. The ripple of one action can extend far beyond your perception. A simple message, a helping hand, a moment of attentive listening. These acts carry immeasurable spiritual weight. Responding now does not guarantee reward, nor does it demand perfection. It guarantees presence. It guarantees alignment with God's intent. It preserves dignity, restores hope, and brings peace exactly when it is needed most. Have you felt that subtle urgency stirring within you, a pull that cannot be ignored? That is heaven reminding you. This moment is sacred. The opportunity to act may never come again. The life you touch, the comfort you offer, the reassurance you give. These are the miracles that begin when someone steps forward without hesitation. Chosen one, your response today has the power to protect this moment. It is not about grand gestures, nor about solving every problem. It is about willingness, awareness, and compassionate action. Acting now preserves the chance to bring relief, reassurance, and peace in the exact time it was meant to arrive. So I ask you, will you move, chosen one? Will you respond to the divine nudge stirring in your heart? Because heaven has positioned this moment, and your willingness can transform it into an answer that reaches far beyond what you can see. Do not wait. Act now. The moment is here, and it is sacred.